What's up, guys? This is episode 2 of Destination DePottey. I have got my dear friend and brother, Pastor Kenil Edmond, on the phone. Newly minted pastor, by the way. He's still got that new pastor smell on him, and so that's obviously just a formality. This guy has been a pastor since the first day I met him, and a brother since the first day I met him. And honestly, guys, when I was thinking about, we did the digital Devo for episode 1, and I thought, what should I want to do right away? And I thought to myself, I think a piece on relationships because it's so important. And then when I was thinking that through, I said, who is best at relationships? And I thought no one better than the other brother of mine who gets accused of being liquid sunshine in every environment and bringing light to a room, my brother, Pastor Kenil Edmond. And just a quick note on our relationship. Kenil and I share a brother and a sister in common. Okay, so that's kind of cool. My sister married his brother, and Kenil and I sort of course, God authored it, but we sort of, we did it almost like an arranged marriage type thing. It's kind of funny how it worked out. But I spoke to Rico and Liz about each other before. Kenil started talking on this side. I started talking on this side. Next thing you know, they're married, and they have given us one absolutely gorgeous niece so far, and they're cooking up another one right now. Which is funny because they're both younger than us. But anyways, they're ahead in that game. So anyways, Kenil, you've had an awesome journey, especially these past couple of years. And I just know that you were so good at relationships. And I felt like I was praying and preparing over this whole thing. And I felt like relationships is a good thing. And by the way, guys, Kenil had no idea I was doing this. It's completely unscripted for Pastor Kenil. I am literally I said, he's the best at relationships. And I feel like he might have something to say that people need to hear. And so I literally, bro, I just want you to just drop some blessing with what you would say about relationships. If somebody was going to spend 5 or 10 minutes tuning in real quick, what might help their relationships get better? So take it away, sir.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I'm definitely not an expert in this, but what I'm learning that relationships, it's like currency. People want to be deposited in. People want more deposits than withdrawals. And I'm learning that because realizing that the more I deposit in someone, the more valuable the withdrawals can be. And like just praying for people or reaching out to them and just checking on, hey man, how you doing? Like it just random reach outs have been just kind of the song of this season for me. And I've realized the blessing in the simplicity of just checking on people and saying, hey man, I care about you. You were on my mind, and we are in a relationship. So I care about the well-being of you and your family. And so I think that's been something I'm learning. I'm still learning. I haven't arrived, but I'm learning that the more I deposit, the more valuable the withdrawals could be. So that's what I'm learning right now.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is so good, Pastor Kenil. And for those of you who don't know, Pastor Kenil is one of the featured co-stars on Motivation Monday that Elevate Life Church is putting out on Mondays as part of our content in the quarantine. If you haven't checked it out yet, you're going to need a good laugh and a good word. Check out Motivation Monday. That's a shameless plug there. I have enjoyed both episodes of you and Pastor Richard just being super goofy, but also telling some truth, man. I enjoy that. So y'all definitely check out Motivation Monday. It's on every single one of our Elevate Life Church platforms. You can't miss it if you're looking for it. So anyways, that would be awesome. Now I want a specific question answered here. You touched, it's actually inspired by something you said on Motivation Monday. I think it was the first episode, but you got married recently, like me. We share that in common. We got married 3 months apart. And so since you are like me in no position to be counseling people on marriage, I would like for us to come up with some feeble attempt at doing so. So if you asked me 9 months in what I would come up with, I bet I could come up with something, I'd imagine, and I don't mind sharing that. But 6 months in, what does Pastor Kenil have to say? Hey, listen, guys or ladies or whoever, what is going to make your day better if you do this? I want to hear it off the top of the head, the first thing you think about.
Oh, man, always say yes. Like, yes, man. Yes. I was thinking about this the other day, just kind of like, if marriage were a human being, we'd still be a baby, and we're still learning to walk.
No question.
Still learning to, put our head up. But I realized very early on, the more that I say yes, and the more that I'm willing to listen and be teachable in this season, the more satisfied we are. And like, man, that whole phrase, happy wife, happy life, is such a true phrase, because your wife determines the atmosphere of the home, man.
The whole vibe.
The whole vibe, man. You could have a phenomenal day.
Come home, in just on fire.
Not good, you're not good. Yeah, so we're still a baby. I'm 6 months old and learning to eat solid food, but
that's right.
I think the more I position myself because as a guy, you try to be like, oh, I got this, or like, I don't want to, like, I'm the head of this household. The tendency is to, like, I lead this thing, but really, in order to lead it right, you need to be able to humble yourself and kind of follow where she is in different seasons. And I'm learning that. I'm learning that now, and it's a beautiful thing when it comes together. So
that's so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
If I were to say anything about like what I've learned, honestly, I have just one of the biggest things that's reiterated to me right away, and it's more true every day, is a reflection of how important like the relationship forming was, like the steps we did before here. I'm realizing every single day when anything comes up, I'm like, wow, because I think what a lot of people, and it's certainly what culture says, the whole, test drive the car before you buy it. So that could refer to living together before you get married. That could refer to being physical before you get married. That could be referred to combining finances, buying houses, things like that in culture they do a lot, that we kind of just addressed before, like what our stance was on it. So when those things came up in conflicts even, it's like we already, like in the prep work, we kind of already established how this was going to go. It was a decision that was already made. And that has been so huge for me, man. And I just couldn't be more thankful. I know you and I's story is fairly similar in that, we both had a lot of, accountability, oversight, and just certainly input from our leaders, which was obviously, I think I speak for both of us the same. Thank God we had that, because gosh, I feel like I would screwed everything up if I didn't. But
that's very true.
Like, just the thing that sticks out the most to me is like there's been a couple of conflicts that have come up, as always, that's going to happen. Like you mentioned something about decorative pillows, but I'm talking about something a little more serious than that, something that's like, the direction we're going to take, or, whatever. And I swear to you, and I still think I hit the lottery, and I pray that this never changes, although I know it potentially it's going to. But there's been a couple of things that have come up, and I swear it was like something that perhaps Sherelle and I did not see eye to eye on. And I really felt like I was supposed to take a stand and say, honey, I think this is the way that we've agreed we're going to go. And it feels like you're kind of going this way on this matter. And, I was kind of gearing up for war, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have a healthy conflict. We're going to deal with this. And I swear to you, these are two major things, major things. I'll be transparent enough to say one of them was like the financial direction of our family and how we make decisions. And I literally said 3 words. Like I said 3 words about one topic that was instrumental about our finances and how the direction we're going to go. And I promise you, Sherelle came back 2 days later and was like, you know what? We're going to go this way. We agreed on it. That's what we're doing. I'm sorry for fighting and bucking the system and all that. And I just thought to myself, when I was single before I gave my life back to God, and every other relationship I had, and honestly still today, like with a relationship with a boss or a leader or somebody, we have this, like, I feel like we have this like agenda or approach we're going to come with, and it's all prepared. And it's like, this is the case we're going to make. Right. And in this particular scenario, I didn't do any of it. I said one thing, which was really how I felt about how it was going. And because she's a woman of God and the same Holy Spirit's in her, she heard, and I've tried to do the same, of course. I'm not in no way pointing a finger or anything. I'm just saying, like, that goes back to our foundation, like way back when we decided we're going to put God first, we're going to love him, and we're going to seek after God and let him add it to us. And it just has become more real for me. So that's what I would say about that. But
Yeah. So good. I love that.
yeah.
I love that.
So one fun thing before we go, brother, because as you guys could see, completely impromptu. My man had no idea what I was coming at him with. He's sitting in his car. What is one funny thing or one quirk or one thing about your relationship that is probably not the same in a whole lot of other relationships? Just something unique, something something just off the wall, bizarre, or whatever. And if I'm sure it'll be good.
There's one thing. The first thing that came to my mind, I can't say. I'll say the second thing. I'll say the second thing. Second thing that's unique about. So I don't know if I should say everything. So I'll filter it through. I have a yeah, I can't say that. I have a curious nose. Like I like to smell things, like to identify them. Like so whenever I'm about to eat something, I'll smell it before I eat it. You know, I when I walk into a room, one of the first things I notice is like the way the room smells. So I identify a lot with like smells. And Ash like didn't know that like I identify with smells. So I'm always like sniffing her, just.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's like it's weird, but yeah, it's like just like the first thing I do when I when like she's like, why are you sniffing me all the time? Like that's just so weird. And do I stink? No, I'm like I just like to smell you. It's like weird.
You smell
if we
nice.
weren't in a relationship, it'd be stalkerish, but yeah, that's a weird quirk. Yeah, I had to filter. There's some things I had to filter before I can't
That's
say
hilarious.
that.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good. I don't know. First of all, I want you to know, maybe some people watching this were feeling otherwise, but when you first started saying like I have a nose for curiosity, I thought you were going like metaphorical there. I thought you were about to drop something like, I had no idea you were going to come at me with like your actual sense of smell.
Yeah.
like sniffing around. That was the first thing I thought. But the second thing is like, in that same context, like I don't necessarily, I wouldn't describe myself as like the same way, but I do know it, like, my wife smells like home. I would say that, like, like when we hug, I could smell her. Obviously I'm not like seeking it out, or, like if you asked me to describe it, I was like, that's home, that's it. But I do, one thing I do is every so often, and it's not out of exasperation or frustration, I'll take a really deep breath. So like out of nowhere, I'll just be like, just I like to smell the air. I like to just take a breather, some would say. Well, sometimes this is at an inopportune moment, and like I'll be like around Sherelle or hugging her or next to her or something, and she thinks I'm smelling her, because she thinks the same thing like what you said, Ashley said. She's like, what are you doing? Like, stop. That's so weird. Like, don't smell my neck. Don't smell my hair. And I'm like, it's really not about that, actually. But anyways, there's no convincing her. You're not gonna win that one. So.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, Pastor Kenil, thank you so much for jumping on.
Man,
that was a lot of fun. Love you too, brother. I know you are geared up and excited. I mean, hey, we are less than 24 hours away from Resurrection Day, baby. And and he's risen. He didn't stay. Friday didn't last long. So I'm super fired up about getting on some Sunday best tomorrow and doing church digitally. And I know you are as well, brother. But thank you so much for your time. And I'm so glad you were able to pop in on us.
Love you, Bubba.
Love you too, brother. Later.
All right.
So that was it for episode 2. I think we're going to go with Resurrection Day relationship tip with Pastor Kenil. And it was awesome. Thank you to him for coming in. As always, thank you to you guys for checking it out. And in case you're wondering, this hat, Local Fair Jacks, shout out to them really quick. Pastor Chris at our church owns them. They are a locally owned business that delivers fresh produce directly from local farmers to your door, and they will help you survive in this chaotic time. The best food to eat is locally sourced, always the fewest hands touching it. And so it is probably the safest way to get your food right now. The website is localfairjacks.com. That's LOCALFAREJAX.com. I believe he's got a 10% off discount code on the main website right now. Don't hold me to that. But anyways, localfairjacks.com. Check them out. And again, this has been Destination DePottey episode 2. Holla, holla.